Canada dropped a bombshell and labels Samidoun terrorists. Samidoun, a pro-Palestinian group, is now officially labeled terrorist. The goal? Stopping terrorism, obviously. But critics are yelling foul. They say it's a direct hit on free speech. Protests have erupted, with folks waving Palestinian flags and chanting slogans. Is this free speech or a dangerous dance with a group now linked to terror? The line just got blurrier. Supporting Palestine is one thing. But what about Samidoun specifically? Now that they're on Canada's naughty list, where does that leave their supporters? Are they criminals or just exercising their rights? This isn't some abstract legal debate. Real lives are on the line. The Canadian government just walked into a minefield and everyone's holding their breath. Freedom isn't free, especially in the age of terror. We want safety and security, but at what cost? Canada's wrestling with that right now. The Charter guarantees free speech, assembly too. But there's a catch. Those rights have limits, and those limits are blurry at best. Support a terrorist group and you're in hot water, that's the law. But what counts as support? A strongly worded tweet, donating to a charity, attending a rally? The government says it's not targeting opinions, just actions, but critics aren't convinced. They see a dangerous precedent, one where dissent is silenced in the name of security. Okay, so Samidoun's on the blacklist. What about the folks who backed them? Are they in legal hot water? The feds say they're watching. Anyone promoting Samidoun's activities could be in trouble. Think financing, recruiting, even just spreading propaganda. Time for lawyers to make some serious bank. Here's the thing, Canada's justice system is supposed to be blind. Everyone gets a fair shake, right? But this case is a stress test. Can the courts separate legitimate dissent from actual support for terror? Can they resist the urge to overreach? Big questions. Because if the system stumbles, trust goes out the window. Big Brother's shadow. Where does security end and freedom begin? It's a tale as old as time, or at least as old as, like, the Magna Carta. Governments want power. Individuals want freedom. Finding the sweet spot, that's the hard part. Canada's grappling with this right now. On one hand, terrorism is scary. Nobody wants to be caught with their pants down if an attack happens, hence the crackdown. But here's the other hand, silence dissent, and you risk creating a climate of fear. Suddenly, criticizing the government feels dangerous. Speaking out against injustice feels risky. That's not the Canada we signed up for. The question isn't just about Samidoun, it's about the soul of Canada. Do we prioritize security at all costs, or do we hold on to the values that make us who we are, even when it's hard? Justice on trial. Can the courts handle the heat? The eyes of the nation are on the courts. This is bigger than one group. It's about whether Canada's justice system can handle a hot potato like this. Can they be fair? Can they resist political pressure? Can they protect our rights even when it's unpopular? No pressure, guys. Here's the danger zone. If people think the courts are just a rubber stamp for the government, we're in trouble. Trust erodes, cynicism festers. And that's a recipe for chaos. The courts need to show they're not afraid of a tough case, that they'll uphold the law, even when it's inconvenient. This is their moment. Rise to the occasion, or risk being crushed under the weight of it. Canada's message to the world, a ripple effect. Canada's not an island. What we do matters. Other countries are watching and taking notes. This Samidoun thing, it's sending shockwaves. Some countries are nodding. Finally, someone's taking a stand. Others not so much. They see it as an attack on human rights. Here's the thing about ripples, they spread. Canada's decision could embolden other countries to crack down on dissent, to silence opposition, to label their critics as terrorists. Or it could be a beacon, a sign that even in the face of fear, we won't abandon our values. The world is watching. The question is, what will they see?